Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So Canelo Alvarez has officially vacated his WBA middleweight title. Of course, the last time Canelo defended that title was against Danny Jacobs back in May 2019. Eddie Reynoso, Canelo's trainer, confirmed that Canelo was vacating this title to Boxing Scene, and he said the following: "He is 168 now, it's his prime weight. It is where he feels strongest, and we are not giving away anything in weight anymore at middleweight." Those are the words of Canelo's trainer, Eddie Reynoso. So what does this mean for the middleweight division as a whole? First and foremost, the WBA title is now in the hands of Ryota Murata. Now, Murata beforehand was the regular WBA middleweight champion. He has now been elevated to full champion or super champion, whatever they call it these days. So Ryota Murata is the recognised WBA champion, and he is eligible for unification fights against the likes of Andrade, Golovkin or Jermall Charlo. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ryota Murata get one of these big fights sooner rather than later. Now he is the full WBA champion. I think a lot of people will see Murata as a weak title holder. I think Murata's pretty decent, but I think a lot of people in boxing will see him as a weak champion, and I could see all of the middleweight champions being desperate to fight him and basically trying to unify with the WBA. Not only does Murata bring that WBA title, but he also brings big backing in Japan, where he's a big star. He brings a lot of money from that part of the world. So yeah, Murata right now is a very attractive opponent for all of the middleweight champions and contenders. I've actually been hearing a lot of rumours about Chris Eubank Jr. versus Ryota Murata. In my opinion, that would be a brilliant fight stylistically. Both guys don't take a backward step. That fight would be an absolute barn burner and a pretty evenly matched fight as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, all in all, I think the middleweight division is actually going to benefit from this. I think it will benefit from Canelo vacating, just because we knew that Canelo was not going to move back down to 160. He basically outgrew the weight class as he went to 168 and 175. It will be a big struggle for Canelo to get back down, and that WBA title has been doing nothing for the past, 18 months or so, and it's basically held up the division in a sense. You know, now Murata is a full champion. I'm hoping that pushes some unification fights in the division. For example, if one of the DAZN fighters like Golovkin or like Andrade could fight Murata, get that belt, then you could have Golovkin versus Andrade for 3 titles, which would make it a really big fight. So yeah, all in all, I think this is good news for the middleweight division, and as I said, hopefully this forces through some unifications at 160. There are some really good fights to be made at 160, and like I said, hopefully this forces some of those through. Even Jermall Charlo versus Ryota Murata would be a really fun fight. But yeah, we'll see what happens with the division now Canelo has officially left it. Like I said, hopefully some of these big fights do get made. Now as for Canelo, this really was the news I was expecting from him. I was expecting him to campaign at 168 for the foreseeable future. That's basically his new weight class, and ultimately, in an ideal world, we would like to see him try to become undisputed. You know, Billy Joe Saunders still has a belt, Caleb Plant still has a belt. Becoming an undisputed champion is more than achievable for Canelo Alvarez, and obviously that would be a big career accolade, so I'm assuming that's what he's going to pursue now. And yeah, hopefully Canelo can be involved in some good fights at 168. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, all in all, it's good that we finally got an answer on the WBA 160 situation. We now know Ryota Murata is the full champion at 160, and Canelo is going to be campaigning at 168. All I'm hoping for out of this is some good fights. Fingers crossed that happens. But yeah, I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts on this situation. Are you disappointed that Canelo's vacated the 160-pound title and moved up? Do you believe there was still unfinished business at 160? Or are you happy Canelo has settled on a weight class and maybe is trying to go undisputed? Share your thoughts below. I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts. Peace.